Step into a world of faith and enlightenment with Path of Faith, where we explore the challenges and triumphs of the human spirit through the lens of religious teachings and divine guidance. Often, we kill our life, or kill the opportunity to live well, because we are not able to read correctly what time is asking of us. Because that's how it is. Everyday time will ask us for something, and it's this attentive look that gives us this condition, this clarity to perceive what today is truly calling my name. What is it today that is truly calling for me? What is the reality today that is unavoidable? My people, sometimes we are so negligent in perceiving this that sometimes we waste a month, a year, 10, 20, putting our effort into a reality that wasn't meant for that moment. And that's why it's so interesting for us to develop the ability to say no and to say yes. That this is an ability that only maturity brings us. That sometimes because we are immature, we don't even know how to say no. We don't know how to look at the urgencies of time. So we live to please others? No. Before pleasing others, you need to perceive what life is asking of you. That not always what you can do to please the other is in line with what life is asking of you. Even for us to grow, we have to have the courage to cut many things. Sacred scripture says, a time to kill, a time to give birth. Everything depends on the keen perception that we need to have to look at the present moment and discover what truly deserves our effort. How many times in my life have I put my effort in the wrong place, in the wrong issue? And then there's no way to be happy. There's no way for me to discover contentment, knowing that my effort wasn't where it should have been. There's no possibility for me to feel fulfilled, to feel good about my choices. Because what will make me feel good is to look at the context of my choices and be comfortable with what was chosen. It's interesting because sometimes our way of living even deprives us of this perception. We are very strange to ourselves. Not strange with others, no, it's strange to ourselves. Strangers to ourselves. The body needs the soul. Yes, I need sustenance for my life. I need to give meaning to my matter. I need to put soul into everything that I am. Even in the house where I live, and life has taught me that the house is not a conglomerate of walls. The house is a feeling that occurs to me. It's not just a material construction, no. When I enter within those walls that I built with my work, there I identify the soul that sustains me. It's a feeling that occurs to me. I'm sure we all experience this. When we open the door of the house, when we enter, it's a good feeling that occurs to us. That's soul. It's when matter is full of meanings. It's when we start to attribute a meaning that goes beyond the walls, the furniture, the roof, the siding, the garden, the front gate. It's a feeling that occurs to us. And it's interesting that the quality of our life depends on and is intimately linked to our ability to infuse soul into things. I'm not talking about that soul, the deepest meaning of our life, that spiritual dimension that connects me with eternity. No, I'm talking about everything that lives and makes sense to matter, brings meaning to what is material. So we use the term soul improperly to realize that my objects are permeated by a meaning that goes beyond matter. As Rubem Alves used to say, there are things that are more than things. They are things that remind us. That is, they become a sacramental. Just as I bring a souvenir from the trip, that is for me just a sacramental of something that was good, that was lived, that was experienced, that made me feel good. But now, in my opportunity to infuse soul into this body, in this unique opportunity that I have to live my life well daily and thus inflate air into all of this, just as I perceive this other soul of the things in my house when I arrive with a feeling that occurs to me. Living well, bringing me the awareness that today, when I observe the urgencies of my life and I put my effort into these urgencies, I am infusing soul into my body. Oh, Father, this separatist view doesn't match with Christian theology. I know. This is just didactic. This separation is only didactic. It all works together. Body and soul are, although distinct realities, they work together. It's unity. We proclaim the unity of all this. Now, when I perceive, when I identify that I am not doing, that I am not making an effort to live well, I am indeed weakening the resources of my soul, which are precisely to help me live well the life of the body itself. They work together, my people, and we often neglect the observance of time, as in Scripture it says. The sacred writer speaks precisely of this, a time to weep and a time to laugh. There are moments when life itself shows you the need to cry, to let out your excesses, not to be afraid of sadness, to allow that sadness to dig within us, its riches, and to help us find the precious stone that only suffering could lead us to know. Then comes laughter. Laughter doesn't arise by chance. We used to sing that song too, right? I walk slowly because I've already been in a hurry, and I bring this smile because I've already cried too much. The smile is the result of tears shed well. The smile is the final result of a process of struggle that we establish, of observing day by day what effort that day asks of me. What do I need to do today to have the right to smile tomorrow? And it's good. You know why? Because as we are going through the tough times, knowing that they will be constructive, small smiles are already born along this process. When we talk about a final smile, it's just the metaphor of a well-done, well-lived process, a time to embrace, a time to distance oneself. How much suffering, right? In realizing distancing as necessary, the growth of the other, it's that child who goes away to study. You can't hold on to children. That's why it's time to embrace, it's time to take care, it's time to be together, and the time will come when that distance will be necessary for the course of life itself. Then he returns. But at first, we need the distance. It's the urgency of the day. The time has come. It's necessary to study. It's necessary to seek a future outside of here. My people, when we observe the movement of time and its urgencies, we enter into the context of an irreplaceable wisdom for our human fulfillment, a time to tear, a time to sow. If we don't have the courage many times to tear some realities, then we'll never be able to live the liberation of them. Today I even wrote about it. Many times we lament losing, and when in fact we observe what we lost, it wasn't loss, it was liberation. How many relationships need to be torn apart so that later they can be sewn back together the right way? To make all the illusions we have of the other fall to the ground, or all the pretensions we judge upon the other. No. The other doesn't have to meet my expectations. The other has to be themselves. If by chance there was an empathy with me, there we build a relationship of friendship. If not, just a relationship of respect. But it's necessary to tear apart. We need to live the confrontation that will later provoke a liberation in us. Anyway, life will always ask us for observation. Life will always ask us for calm, patience, because in a hurry, we overlook all these needs and we're not able to recognize them. Have you ever stopped to think about that? That sometimes life isn't going well? It's because you don't even know exactly what you need. Sometimes we get so anxious, so distressed, and we don't know why. We failed to reach the key point. We failed to discover the neuralgic point there, where the conflict is actually starting. Patience, right? We don't even have the patience to discover what is distressing us. It's our rush. It's the strange life that we are going to live. From all of us at Path of Faith, thank you for being part of today's discussion. We value your input, so please share your thoughts in the comments, show your support with a like, spread the message by sharing, and subscribe to stay connected with us on our journey of faith.